Ugh. I wish we'd had some real food to go with those cocktails earlier. I'm starting to think that drinking 2 or was it 3 mixed drinks without any nibbles was not a great move.
That's why I stick with tea. Speaking of tea, does anyone have any biscuits? They really don't compare. It's delicious, greasy, thinly sliced luncheon meat, such as salami, for example.
Wait. Andy, when you say tea, do you mean the drink or do you mean the meal? Because you British, you use tea. You have too many meanings for the word tea.
The answer is yes.
Oh, hell yeah, we need nibbles. You know I gots to get my nibble on the regular. Why don't we go just head back out to the food court and get some stuff from, the thing?
By stuff from the thing, you mean the supply freezer in the food court? That is now completely frozen in blocks of ice?
Yeah.
So what? We take all our pickaxes and ropes and winches that we definitely have, chip our food free inch by grueling inch, and then just, haul the food back here in giant blocks of ice that totally don't weigh literal tons?
Yeah, that whole kind of thing.
And then we'd have to spend weeks defrosting the food over what little fires we can make by burning all of these worthless piles.
Hey.
I was going to say worthless books.
Well, now you're making it sound a little bit tricky, I guess.
I am sensing that many of our society members may be a bit peckish.
I think hangry might be the word you're looking for.
Should we return to the food court, but this time, front of house, so we can order from the window? Like normal people, like real normal people do every single day?
No way.
You think we can do anything normal?
No, we absolutely cannot risk running into the evil usses.
Trademark.
Again. As in running into, not the trademark. They might still be out there waiting for us to make another mistake.
And we're also very broke.
Again.
Pretty sure they don't use the barter system in the food court.
We may not have any currency or goods to barter, but perhaps we could offer services? Eh?
No!
Aw. Okay. I will agree we could use something to eat other than a, centuries-old packet of saltine crackers.
That was weirdly specific.
Not that I was looking for something to give Clark Nova a bump in the desk instead of, life-sustaining nourishment for my human compatriots. No sirree, Bob.
Speaking of centuries old, where have you been, you old sentient turkey jowl? You've returned. We're starting to worry.
We nearly froze to death.
Yeah, where were you when the society was in danger of hypothermia?
Well, you see, you told me I could not sleep in the minivan.
Say it correctly.
The Cinemania mobile. You didn't let me take turns sleeping there like the rest of you.
Well, sleeping privileges have to be earned. No naps for the lazy.
So, when you all went off together, I decided to take a quick snooze.
No.
But when I awakened, you still hadn't returned.
Because we were slowly freezing to death.
I'm pretty sure we were in a fridge, not a freezer, you guys.
Close enough.
You're exaggerating just a smidge.
Get on with it. There was a forest behind the parking lot, so I went foraging for mushrooms.
Mushrooms, you say? Did you find any?
No, but I did find these berries. How fetching they look, and yet be warned before you eat them.
Bitter. Oh, very good. Ooh, but
that
bitter.
was not very satisfying.
Those barely deserve to be called an amuse-bouche. Look at this bouche. Does it look very amused to you?
How do you know that term?
What? Just because I'm a cocktail connoisseur doesn't mean I can't also be cultured. I'm not drunk 100% of the time. Just, 90, 95%. I don't know.
They may not be very filling, that's true, but there is a certain je ne sais quoi about them.
Now you're speaking French too.
I'll have you know I took 6 years in high school. So I also know how to say voulez-vous coucher avec la fenêtre? Thank you.
When did our bookshop window get replaced with a large TV screen? The graphics are really, really high def.
Hey, let's cruise over here and oh wow, like the images are so lifelike.
I don't remember having a TV screen in my bookshop, you guys.
I see shoppers walking between different shops, but to watch a screen this big, oh man, I really need snacks because I am really hungry.
Excellent idea that no one has ever had.
Wait, snacks?
Okay, but the food court is out. Any other ideas?
Didn't the old strip mall have a mini mart?
Oh yeah.
Maybe it's still there. Let's go!
Yeah, mini mart, man. Let's hit up the let's make a run to the sleaze mart, yo. Whoa. We can't venture outside so close to the video store. They might see us.
Who?
The doppelgangers, the clones,
Huh?
Neither of those are a thing, you guys.
the evil us's.
Trademark.
They work right next door. We need disguises to go out foraging for snacks and other tasty treats at the mini mart. They must see nothing, suspect nothing of our doings.
Indeed. To truly throw an enemy off the scent, you need a good disguise. That's why they called me the Hooded Shadow Abseiler.
Is that French?
Literally, no one has called you that, nor ever will.
Because of the effectiveness of a good disguise.
Huh. You know what wearing disguises to keep others from discovering your true identity reminds me of? Richard Linklater's 2006 adaptation of Philip K. Dick's A Scanner Darkly.
No. More dick? The last thing this society needs is more dick.
Look, I'd insert a dick joke here, but I feel like you all have the pieces. You can put that dick in yourselves.
Oh, le grand dick joke.
Ambiguity is a vein running through all of dick.
Balls.
Stop!
Another conclave? Now? While we're all so hangry?
I've been waiting forever to have an excuse to scrutinize this movie. Ahem, yes. Now, quickly, before we lose our focus.
Too late.
I'll start us off. Within the depths of the mysterious Mall of Misery lies a discount bookstore where society members retreat to hide from the dangers of the world. Past the dangerous hallways, completely exposed to roaming doppelgangers or clones, or the least evil us's, beyond the interconnected storefronts that lead to, possibly, the mini-marts, the members of a secret society assemble to scrutinize those films which are rumored to drive viewers to madness and dissolution. Draw closer, dear listener. Let your trembling ears sup upon the eldritch knowledge of the Cinemania Society.
We
the
fellows
of
the Lenses Hall do convene to judge if this cinema worthy of our esteem, or whether it should be cast down as worthless hokum. Let us don our feathers in judgment. We the fellows. Oh.
Welcome to this conclave of the Cinemania Society. Please be seated. And welcome to our listeners, to whom I will now issue this warning. We, disciples of the Cinemania Society, have studied the mysteries of the motion picture and meditated upon the silver screen for many years. Therefore, we have become inured to the films we scrutinize, which may contain hazards unsuitable to young and sensitive ears. As such, we advise anyone listening to do so with discretion. Guard your ears carefully, lest you develop a severe and irreversible case of cinemania. Present at our conclave tonight are
Inquisitor Ethan, Maven of the Montage.
Scrutinizer Zacharia, guardian of the door.
débaucheur Daniel, le possesseur de word. Auntie Hope, keeper of the books.
And Verifier Andy, Master Illuminator.
Not present at tonight's conclave is Arbiter Alessa, voice from the outer world, due to being ensnared within higher dimensions unknown. I am Professor Andrea, scholar of San Francisco. I will be serving as Pontifex of Presentment for tonight's subject of scrutiny, A Scanner Darkly from 2006, directed by Richard Linklater, and based on novel by Philip K. Dick. Debaucher Daniel shall act as Master Castigator for this conclave. Daniel, present the charges.
Thank you. Charges against the movie A Scanner Darkly include, but are not limited to, questioning the nature of whether, like...
No, you missed it.
What? Oh,
voiceover.
Sorry. I thought that was meant to. I thought that was a note.
No,
Okay.
it's a charge.
Yeah. No, you're good.
Sorry, go ahead. Let's start again.
Voiceover. Questioning the nature of whether, like, what's real is really real, man. I mean, think about it.
That's heavy. Man.
Misuse of Raid as a body spray. Picking style over substance. D. Cartoon boobies.
That aren't done by Ralph Bakshi.
Indeed. Insufficient references to The Matrix in a film released after 1998 starring Keanu Reeves. Criminal obfuscation of Keanu Reeves' beautiful visage. Criminal overexposure of Woody Harrelson's dumpy meat topper.
Hey.
Trying to apply logic while in a drug-induced haze. Suggesting that Robert Downey Jr. may have ever been in some way a shady character. Manipulating the audience into feeling bad about Alex Jones getting arrested. Unreasonably faithful adaptation of a Philip K. Dick story.
No, but for real.
Valis rules.
Serious trigger warnings do include drug use, threatened gun violence, threatened assault, nudity, attempted suicide, and briefly appearance of death.
Thank you, Debaucher Daniel. And I'll get started on the first summary. We begin this movie in media res with a weird man covered in bugs. He scratches, he twitches, he sprays himself with insecticide.
Speaking of insects, what's that scuttling sound?
Bug powder. It comes in aerosol cans. It's wavy wild.
Oh, God, someone get the big net on a stick. Continue.
At this point, the man's dog is now covered in bugs too, and they both end up together in the bath. After drying off, Charles Freck calls Barris. Robert Downey Jr. is truly on point in this role to ask him what he should do about the bugs.
I just want to point out this is literal bug fuck nuts.
Cool as a cucumber, Barris tells him not to worry, but to put one in a jar. He'll test it just to be sure. Probably aphids. Of course, once Freck is in the car on the way to Barris, no more bugs in the jar. Huh, that's funny. Maybe it was the cop car that pulled over and shot him? No, that didn't happen either. He's fine. It's hard to keep track of reality these days, isn't it? Somehow, Charles Freck isn't too worried.
But somehow he's also too worried. There may not be a correct amount of worrying.
Meanwhile, an undercover cop called Fred is giving an update at a press briefing. He goes on about the dangers of Substance D and how New Path is helping solve the crisis. Fred is wearing a scramble suit, so no human being nor software can figure out his identity. Unfortunately, Fred's mind starts to wander because the sheer hypocrisy of all is getting to him. He ignores the tiny microphone in his ear telling him what to say. Fred trails off into Substance D, despair, death, before being hustled away from the reporters. As he changes into his street clothes, we notice he looks like an addict. But maybe that's because he actually is one.
Damn. This film is hard to follow. And it isn't just because of the rotoscoping.
Yeah, that's because of all the dick.
Womp womp.
Or, yeah, sure.
Is it the heavy voiceover? They should have got Harrison Ford.
Various shenanigans ensue once Fred, known as Bob Arctor to his crew of burnt-out drug addict buddies, returns to the rundown crash pad that used to be a regular suburban track home His home, in fact, when he still had a wife and kids and felt the crushing weight of middle-class drudgery. Nowadays, Bob's day consists of a little light shoplifting, chatting while dropping D and other drugs, and watching his friends argue for no reason. Yet somehow it always seems incredibly important at the same time. One very memorable scene includes Barris bringing home a bike, which then provokes a discussion of whether the bike was stolen, how many gears it has, and whether the gears were somehow stolen. The only solution is, of course, to bring the bike outside and stop a random passerby to ask them how many gears it has. Foolproof logic there, Barris.
I want to point out two things here. Two things. Thing one is that this is an almost verbatim scene taken from the book, and it is an absolutely perfect illustration of what it's like to be around heads.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say this rings all true. I feel like I've frickin' experienced this with so many frickin' druggies and shit.
Yeah. It's, the crazy thing is in 2003, I lived in almost the exact same house as this. This movie came out a year or two after I moved out of that, but I find it really funny that two of the roommates that I had were basically Bob Arctor and Barris.
Were they also rotoscoped?
No, but it certainly felt like they were at some times. I mean, I guess that would have made me Ernie Luckman, but no, I wasn't as cool. They didn't. One thing they left out was our fourth roommate, who was a violent psycho who had gotten thrown out of the Marines and actually later ended up getting a law license. He passed the bar.
So he was originally going to be played by John Hurt, but they left him on the cutting room floor.
Well, I just wanted to point out that I think both Philip K. Dick and Richard Linklater were excellent at identifying archetypes of lower classes, like, heads and junkies, the lowest of the low.
Yeah.
And I don't think Dick necessarily saw himself as a head, but he popped a lot of amphetamines on a regular basis. So,
well, yeah, there you go.
Sorry, please carry on, Professor. I just wanted to.
Of course. If you think Barris seems like a dick, you would be right.
Yep.
Back at work, Fred, that is Bob. That is, okay, so Keanu Reeves gets back in the scramble suit. Everyone in the agency he's working for wears them, which means none of the agents actually know who each other is. Bob Arctor doesn't even know who his boss is. It's just two anonymous shifting blobs talking to one another. Bob's boss tells him that Barris has intel on Bob Arctor, so they instruct Bob to essentially observe himself. Talk about a mindfuck. And oh boy, Bob's mind is already fucked due to all the substance Z. He starts to worry that his rambling speech at the presser might have tipped off his bosses that he's hooked. And if that wasn't enough stress, Bob also has to watch hours of surveillance footage of his own home, reviewing the at times excruciating but otherwise incredibly dull conversations and interactions of everyone in this house. All this thinking is causing Bob to worry about his relationship with Donna, his substance D dealer and situationship, played by a sexy Winona Ryder. This may be the only thing Bob is clear-eyed about. Donna is definitely keeping Bob at arm's length.
Dude, am I the tinker or the tailor?
Dude, going back, like with Ethan saying, I lived, especially in my 20s, in a lot of houses with a lot of people on a lot of different substances, and all these conversations just struck so freaking hard. And him watching it back, it's like the people who are high and they think they have the answer to life and stuff and write down on a pad all of their ideas and stuff, and then when they sober up and read it, they're just like, what the fuck were we thinking, man? It just strikes true. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, so I felt a little attacked by this movie. I remember the first time I watched it, I was like, we have all these conversations all the time too. And then we were like, oh yeah, but we don't do drugs.
The funny thing is that I feel like that conversation where they can't figure out the number of gears on the bike because they can't do basic mathematics and multiplication to determine the number of gears on the bike. I feel like I kind of remember that conversation happening at the house I was living in,
between the guys who are the Bob Arctor archetype and the Barris archetype. Like, I feel like I remember that, but I'm not sure if it's a misplaced memory. So now I'm not sure how much Dick has been fucking my mind with D.
Yeah. How much has Dick dicked with your mind, I think, is what you're trying to say. Brother Andy, I smell a suspicious whiff of Cinemania. If you could get out the tinfoil straitjacket, that would be
I think that would be wise.
Hold still, Ethan.
And let's I think at this point we need to get
Okay, so quick announcement for you all. Clark Nova insists that he come with us to the mini mart.
One more extra skid is not keeping up with our bargain, Danny boy. Seems I need to be there to remind you to hold up your end. But you know what would? Some of that bug powder I heard about on the TV.
Well, I don't think the evil us's
Trademark.
know about Clark Nova,
Technically trademark.
so it should be fine.
nothing about that monstrosity is fine.
I already have a paper beard and glasses all cut out and ready to go for my disguise. There is no way those guys will see past this.
Where'd you get that paper?
Nowhere.
My books. You cut up my books? I'm gonna murder you.
No!
Uh-oh, grab
Put down that letter.
Zach.
Now, are you calm now, Hope? Hope, I am prepared to stop sitting on you if you're going to be calm. Okay, then.
Just you wait, Zach. One night, when you least expect it.
Great. Moving on. I have an excellent disguise. I took this tinfoil I found, and when I hold it to my face, thusly, behold, a shiny moustache.
But that was in my fez to ward off the spirits who try to possess me.
Also, if it's been in his fez, it cannot smell good. Are you sure you want that under your nose?
So, what about you two? Daniel, Ethan, what have you got?
A little leftover cardboard from the dojo window. I'll just poke out a few eye holes and... there. A clever mask.
You look like cut price bargain basement Groot.
Well, how's that a change from anything normal?
Daniel?
I have this old Navy hoodie.
You know what? Whatever.
I'm turning my hood into a scarf to hide my face.
Wow, that's really versatile. I wish I had one.
What about you, Professor?
Now, I thought about this really hard. And you know, in the movies, when Clark Kent wears glasses so no one recognizes he is Superman, well, I will do the opposite and remove my glasses.
Can you still see without them?
Of course. Well, mostly. Ow.
What a plan.
Can I come too? I could try a comb over to hide my identity. I think I have some remaining hairs. One moment.
Where would you even comb it over from? Your back? No. You can hold down the fort here in case the evil us's. Don't do it. Try a frontal attack while we're out.
Save that for later.
What is this?
Oh, it's Whole Market Farms. Looks expensive.
No. It looks artisanal. Look. Jumbo Andean corn dehydrated snack experience. Only $15.
I think you meant to say Andean.
$15? How can corn nuts cost this much?
Not corn nuts. A dehydrated snack experience involving corn.
You can't put a price on an experience like that.
I completely agree with Zach. Look at this. Asparagus water? It's just a stalk of asparagus in a bottle of water, and they want $25 for it. These prices are truly outrageous. Truly outrageous. More than Gem.
No singing.
We need a place to discuss this privately. Does anyone have any ideas?
Well, don't ask how I know this, but at the back of every store there is what's known as an employee break room. And at a store this pretentious, I'm rather confident no employees ever take breaks.
Great idea. Everyone scatter and meet in the employee break room, where we will discuss our next moves. And of course, return to the conclave.
Now?
Of course, the conclave must continue despite our current lack of snacks.
You with your conclaves and your aesthetics and all that.
Well, and it will continue with me reading the next section of the summary. The next time Bob is at the police station, he's surprised to hear that his good friend, bosom buddy, generally trustworthy home slice Jim Barris is actually there to inform the police about Bob's terrorist activities. Bob's boss instructs Barris to bring in evidence if he wants any action on this information. Barris also mentions that Bob is an addict with brain damage that causes psychosis and hallucinations. Projection much?
Right.
A very dangerous individual. Projection much? Bob's boss has to kick Barris out of the office. It is obvious that he's looking for a job as an informant, but his information is more than likely worthless. Yet to Bob, the accusations coming from the supposed friend sting. Meanwhile, back out in the world, Jim Barris continues posing a greater and greater threat to the group. First, he's fooling around with a gun, trying to create a silencer, which, when he shoots it, the sound is deafening. Next, Bob, Barris, and Ernie Luckman, a truly bonkers performance by Woody Harrelson, are traveling on the highway when suddenly the accelerator sticks. They nearly crash before managing to pull off the road. Popping the hood, Bob finds a screw turned the wrong way in the engine, which he thinks indicates sabotage. Luckman declares, "Don't blame the drugs, because the drugs didn't cause the sabotage, man." It's implied that Barris might have messed around with Bob's car engine. Even crazier, on the way back to the house, we find out that without Bob's knowledge, Barris booby-trapped Bob's home, leaving the front door unlocked with a note on it that says, "Come on in, the door's unlocked." In a truly baffling act of reverse psychology trickery. And yes, let me just point out, this is all stuff exactly that heads would do. This is absolutely drug head logic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in every basic, simple problem, these guys immediately turn it into a massive conspiracy theory or overthink it or race to every possible conclusion except the most obvious and simple one.
Don't blame the drugs, man.
Yeah, and it's also worth pointing out here, too, that Philip K. Dick, in the biography of Philip K. Dick written by Paul Williams, Only Apparently Real, Dick admitted to using amphetamines, but claimed that his doctor told him that they had no effect on him. But he still took them anyway. Amphetamines had no effect on Phil Dick at all, right? None.
What year was this written? I mean...
The book was originally published in 1977.
It strikes me as a 1970s kind of piece.
It's a near future thing as well. In the book, it's set in 1994. The book was published in 1977. This was set in the near future of 1994.
Huh.
And then the movie came out in 2005 or 6. So, yeah, it's like, it feels really real. That was one of the things that I really liked about the book, is that the near future felt like right now when I was reading it. And it happened to be not too far after when it was originally set.
Yeah, no doubt.
So,
except
anyway.
for some technology issues, I mean, it pretty much nailed the 90s. Because, drugs, man. Drugs never change.
Moving on. The whole scene is so confused, the audience feels like we might be on drugs. When the crew arrives at the house and finds no note, but a warm roach in the ashtray, no, Clark Nova, we're not talking about you. It appears maybe someone did break in, but then Donna walks into the room, and she said she was there taking a nap when they rolled up and had smoked a joint because she can't sleep with otherwise, so that's what... Anyway, the whole scene becomes a massive fuck-up, no matter which way you view it.
Yep.
Again, classic head stuff. Things take a more potentially deadly turn, however, once Bob starts trying to actually fix the car. For reasons unknown, Barris disappears during an argument with Luckman. Moments later, Barris returns with a hammer and begins to menace Luckman, who then grabs a large rock to protect himself. Charles Freck starts screaming that he isn't going to stand around and watch someone get killed, which makes the other two laugh as Charles drives away. Just like that, the near-deadly altercation is forgotten. Or is it? Later on, while Bob is away at work watching surveillance footage from the cameras set up in the house, that were set up while they were out on their drive, by the way. This whole drive was a shock. he was taking all the rest of his buddies out of the house so that the cops could install surveillance scanners in the house.
Right.
So he's watching the surveillance footage. He sees Luckman start choking, and then he falls on the floor in the kitchen while Barris is in the next room doing nothing. Barris makes no attempt to help Luckman until Luckman has stopped moving, at which point Barris starts to call 911, and it would have been entirely too late to save his friend, but luckily Luckman starts coughing and vomiting and is actually not, in fact, dead. Bob watches it all on the monitors and curses Barris. Devilish mastermind! Or completely zoned out and incapable of rationally solving basic problems? You decide.
Yeah, maybe a little column A, maybe a little column B.
Maybe all column D.
Ooh, I see what you did there.
Yeah, I think it's definitely column D.
Column Daddy.
I can't imagine what it'd be like to be watching this at work thinking, fuck, and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, that's, remember he's like picking up the phone and he's like close to calling it in himself, but he's like, I can't because then they'll know somebody's watching, but he wants to save his friend. I mean, it is just a fucked up situation.
Speaking of being watched, Illuminator Andy, since Inquisitor Ethan has no more lenses... Can you tell us if these break rooms happen to have any security cameras?
That's an excellent question. I only see a few very large bees hanging surprisingly still in the air above us. Bugs, man. Why is it always bugs?
I see some beautiful flowers. Long stems hanging from the ceiling.
Whoa.
It's odd. There usually are cameras back here. You just know that Whole Market Farms doesn't trust their employees. But all I see are some tiny disco balls hanging from up there.
I thought they were lidless eyes hanging from their black, twisty retinas.
What the hell, dude? That is so dark.
Well, at any rate, it doesn't seem like there are any cameras here. However, clearly the decor cannot be trusted. Just in case, we should go incognito. Quick, put on these Whole Market Farms aprons.
But it will clash with my new hood scarf.
Do it, I say! Now that we are posing as employees, all of us, what's our next move?
Well, the prices here are awfully steep, and our entire budget consists of the loose change Brother Methuselah managed to fish out of the Cinemania Mobile's back seat.
Clark Nova, is there anything you can do to help us? Clark Nova? No, where did that little monster get off to?
There is only one sensible thing to do in our predicament. Shoplift. It is the only rational answer to an insane capitalist world.
Well, Philip K. Dick did say it is sometimes an appropriate response to reality to go insane.
Now you're talking. And my disguise is made for this. This cloak has so many pockets, you guys. I will come back with so much loot.
Yeah, fuck those guys and their corporate greed. See this poster? I'm gonna take it. Kitten hanging from a branch is now my new buddy. Hang in there, bed. Genius.
I was going to suggest that we raid the employee fridge.
That's low, man.
Yeah, we're not monsters.
Wait, who's that coming over?
How's lunch, guys? Off for my smoke break. See you at close.
Did you see that giant humanoid beetle that passed us?
Giant is right. And he only had one eye. Do you guys think he eats people?
Looks like the kind of guy who likes dehydrated snack experience. He was definitely smoking. But how was he on fire yet still able to walk?
None of this is making sense yet. It simultaneously all makes sense. What is going on?
Oh, that's just standard issue apophenia.
Right. He's right. It should make all the sense and none of the sense. And
Yeah, don't worry too much. Just relax and enjoy the berries, guys.
how many berries did we eat?
Debonair Daniel, do you know what's going on? Oh no. The Cinemania Society was written, produced, and performed by Hope Bravo, Andrea Palladino, Zacharia Berks, Ethan Ireland, Andy Slack, and Daniel Scribner. Editing and sound design by Ethan Ireland. Music by Carl Casey at White Bat Audio. Incidental music and sound effects courtesy of Epidemic Sound. The Cinemania Society is a work of fiction. Unless otherwise indicated, all the names, characters, businesses, places, events, and incidents appearing in this audio play are either the product of the author's imagination or are used in a fictitious manner. Any resemblance to actual persons, living dead, or actual events is purely coincidental and or a part of a work of parody that should not be construed as making statements or allegations of actual fact. All celebrity voices are impersonated unless otherwise stated. The Cinemania Society is available on social media. You can reach us on Facebook, Instagram, or Blue Sky, and our Reddit feed on r/The Cinemania Society. Or just please email us at thecinemaniasociety.gmail.com. You, yes, you, listening right now, please take a second to drop us a line, because not only are we dying for an excuse to do a listener mail episode, we genuinely love to hear from you.